So you want to come down here to advance the plot. Now there's soldiers walking around. I can't believe these sky bandits managed to circumvent our search and just walk right into town and burglarize a bunch of places. I can't believe what they've been saying about our Biscuit sports teams. We were really outdone this time. Naturally. I was shocked when I heard about the South Block being hit by burglars. Murano's mother was here alone, you see. That's too bad. Fortunately, this house was untouched in the burglaries. But it's at times like this that it makes you feel uneasy when there's no man at home. I'm just glad that Murano brought Simon over to watch the house. I mean, that's what your shotgun's for, ma'am. Just throwing that out there. Now we've got burglars running amok in the city? I swear, what's happening to Bose? I'm just glad they left this house alone, though I'm baffled as to why. They certainly didn't do their homework on the city. Homework, even. Nobody's here. Uh-oh. She's being questioned!
I'm not trying to be rude, but this is an official investigation. Move it along. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is an official investigation.
Okay.
I'm trying to ask a few questions here. Would you mind getting out of the way?
You want to fight about it, sir? I will kick you in the bagpipes. That's what I'll do. You won't know what hit you. Ba-ba-bum. Are you the bracers we heard about? Since the mayor has asked you to look into things, I have no choice but to allow it. Just don't get in the way of the army's investigation. Oh, wow. He's being all serious and such. Damn it! My shop got ripped off by a bunch of thieving criminals. 'Cause I'm a criminal! Bar Brady style. And they took off with every last one of my pricey goods, too. Why did this have to happen to me at a time when there are hardly any goods around to begin with? That's a shame. Nothing new in this in the shizop. Do 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 do. General Morgan may be stubborn, but he's running the show, and he's a very capable leader. I wouldn't expect any less from the man who defeated the Imperial Army in the war a decade ago. But what gets me is why he's having so much trouble this time around. Couldn't tell you, man. Could not tell you. Uh-oh.
Are you bracers here to ask a few questions yourselves?
Yes, I am.
This is a mess for the both of us, I tell you.
I tell you what. You know what I mean?
We'll be done with our questioning soon enough, so be good, little children, and sit tight.
Shut up.
We'll be done with our question.
So we can't actually do this until we advance the plot a little bit? So, that's how that goes.
There's probably still some important information we haven't gathered. We should continue to ask around a bit longer and see what we can come up with.
Play you. Because that is that quest, but we gotta advance the plot a little bit before we can do anything there. So to do that, we want to head to the Orbital shop. How you doing? It's Marco! It looks like this door was hit by the burglars as well. I guess this isn't the time to be talking about business deals. I guess not. My factory! My factory and all my goods! They're gone! I still see a bunch of goods around. I don't know what you're talking about. I've got to report this to either the Army or the Bracer Guild, ASAP. Now hold on just a minute. Excusez-moi. If either one of these groups saw what was written in that stolen ledger... Uh-oh. Yikes, I'd be in a world of hurt. Keep that in mind. We need more fire to open that. Olivier just needs this open. 200? Good lord, man. That's kind of disgusting. Guess we'll get a cast 1. Time to cast arts is cut, so it's always a good thing. We can give that to Olivier. Cast 1. Since he is a good mage, so you know how it is. Uh-oh.
Yay! This one turned out really cute.
It's Dorothy! Lynch.
Niall, is this how you wanted this one?
Yeah, sure. Something like that. However, we really got screwed, you know that?
Good afternoon. Are you working on another story?
Looks like you two are on the trail of a scoop again.
Hey, it's you kids.
Oh, Estelle and Joshua. Boy, am I glad to see that they let you out of the clinker.
Yeah, I heard all about you kids getting arrested by the army up at the old mine. You certainly had me worried.
Why are you acting like you had nothing to do with it? It was your info that led us to the village.
Hey now, what kind of face is that? Don't tell me you blame us.
Did you go and check out the abandoned mine yourselves?
Yeah, we did yesterday. But it was after you had already been hauled off.
Nah.
We could have had a really great shot of your arrest had we been there. It really guts me that we missed such a perfect opportunity for a great shot.
I swear, you people in the news business.
But anyway, I was wondering if you thought this looked like the handiwork of the Sky Bandits.
Sure looks that way to me. Seemed that the army's sniffing around for clues too. But to be honest, it looks like there's nothing to be found here anymore.
I see. That does make things a bit more difficult.
Well, Mr. Reporter, why don't you let me ask you this then? Do you know from whence the Sky Bandits entered town?
According to witness statements, they were seen leaving through the west gate.
Well, that's awfully strange. The mayor's residence and Beau's market are right through the west gate. And it seems like attacking those two places would be far more lucrative.
You'd think.
When you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. But if you don't mind me asking, who the heck are you anyway?
Ha! I'm glad you asked. I'm Olivier Lenheim, a wandering bard and gifted musician. I'm sure you've heard rumors about me, right?
Oh, right! You're the guy who drank wine without paying at the classy restaurant. It takes guts to stiff such a big bill. It's an honor to meet you, sir.
Haha, you're making me blush. I'm ready for my interview at any time, so please don't hesitate to ask.
Wow! Really?
I'm getting a headache just listening to this crap.
These two are very much alike.
I'm not even gonna ask how this guy wound up with the rest of you.
That would be for the best.
Indeed.
Thanks to your shenanigans, the pages of the next issue are going to be filled with some real gripping headlines. Let me know if you get any other scoops.
Shenanigans, even.
The newest model of camera on display here was stolen. Do you think the Sky Bandits have an interest in photography?
I'm guessing not, but you never know. Wow, it looks like the burglars made off with nearly everything. I could have sworn that my boss locked up last night. But you never know, man. Alright, now we want to go to...
Hey, you there!
Uh-oh. I didn't do it, I swear!
Is something wrong?
He was already dead when I got there!
I thought I'd better give you a word of advice.
Uh-oh.
Even if you are representing the mayor, at the end of the day, you are all still civilians. We cannot have you wandering around here in the middle of our investigation.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Your advice seems rather more like a threat.
I'm being threatened by a sheriff, even.
I'm just saying you need to know your place. But if you're so adamant about investigating the matter, then do it after we've cleared out of here. If we get any more trouble out of you, then I'm going to give you a personal invitation to jail.
No thanks.
Forget about it, Estelle. There's no use arguing with these gentlemen.
Been there, done that.
For an ass in lion's skin, you sure know how to throw your weight around, Mr. Soldier.
What did you just say?
May I ask what's going on here?
Uh-oh. Keep this guy in mind.
Colonel!
He's very important.
For a soldier in the prestigious Royal Army to be threatening our good citizens?
Officer in black!
That is an outright embarrassment to us all!
But these are just civilians, sir. They're members of the Bracer Guild.
Oh, is that so? Then I ask you once again, what is going on here? The army is supposed to be working closely with the guild. What do you intend to accomplish by being rude to our allies?
But as far as the general is concerned...
Ah, yes. That side of the general really concerns me. I'll take over the investigation from here, so please take your men and clear out.
But sir...
Your men have been here since early this morning, so I presume that a sufficient investigation has been conducted by now, yes? I'll smooth things over with the general later.
The Surgeon General, even.
Is there anything else you wish me to address?
No, sir. All right, men, pack it up. We're returning to the Hawken Gate.
Yeah, you are. They got told.
It looks like that's that. It seems that some of our personnel were rather impolite.
You think?
Please, allow me to apologize.
I appreciate the gesture. But we made some slightly inflammatory remarks as well, so how about we let bygones be bygones?
That suits me just fine. As I stated before, the army is supposed to be working closely with the guild. I think our two organizations working together grants us each the ability to make up for the other's shortcomings. I'm looking forward to any progress you make with this recent series of events.
Thank you. We'll do what we can.
He seems like a decent guy.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wonder who he is.
Colonel, it's almost the appointed time.
Female officer. Keep her in mind as well. She's also important.
Oh, already? Excuse me, but it appears I must take my leave. Oh, but before I do, it looks like I haven't properly introduced myself. I am Alan Richard, a colonel in the Royal Army.
Alan Richard, even.
If there's anything I can do to assist you, please don't hesitate to contact me.
Colonel Richard? I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before.
Niall was the one who mentioned his name earlier. He said something about him being a sharp young officer who leads the Royal Army's intelligence division.
Oh, right! Wow, for someone in the military, he sure knows how to listen to others.
Probably in his mid-30s, and he's not hard on the eyes either. He seems like he's more fit to be a politician than a service member in the army.
He's a damn handsome man.
Hey, you guys!
How you doing?
Who was that you were just talking to in the black uniform? I could swear I've seen him somewhere before.
Are you trying to tell me that you didn't recognize him at all? That was Colonel Richard of the Intelligence Division. You know, the guy you mentioned earlier.
What? You're not pulling my leg, are you?
I would never.
As fun as that would be, nope.
He said so himself, so I'm fairly confident he is who he says he is.
To think that the legend himself would show up here.
That the bears are who we thought they were. And we let him off the hook.
We can't wait around like this any longer, Dorothy. Let's see if we can catch up to him.
Aye, aye, sir. Although I'm not really sure why we're chasing after anyone.
Did you see his eyes light up? I wonder if he's going to do an interview or something.
You're damn right he is.
Anyone else in the army would brush him off, but I'm sure the colonel will oblige him.
What's the matter with you, Olivier? You look serious. And I gotta say, I find it creepy coming from you.
I think he knows something.
I was just thinking about the Colonel. I'll be the first to admit that he's quite the specimen of a man. But
But what?
I can say with confidence that he doesn't stand a chance against me when it comes to the ladies. But I'd like to see him try just a little harder. It's no fun without a romantic rival.
You just had to ask, didn't you, Joshua?
No.
I'll regret it for the rest of my life.
Ah.
Alright, let's see here. Now that the soldiers are gone, how about we resume our own investigation?
How about it?
Let's start by talking to all the people we couldn't talk to earlier.
Sounds like a plan.
Good idea.
Now that we don't have soldiers taking up all of the shenanigans. Not you. We want to go to here? Yeah, you.
Oh, dear me. Weren't you the bracers who came to ask questions not that long ago?
Oh, right. We did come before.
Indeed we did.
I'm really sorry I couldn't talk to you then. So, what you came to ask about is what happened last night, right?
Yes, that's right. Is this a good time for you?
Yeah, this is as good a time as any. It was the middle of the night, you see, when I heard a noise coming from outside.
It was probably Santa Claus coming down your chimney. That's probably what it was.
And I, of course, thought it was my husband coming home at such a late hour, so I opened the door and started yelling. But it turned out to be a group of masked men coming out of the Orbital factory across the road. I thought my heart was plumb gonna stop right then and there. Although it turned out the burglars were rather surprised and ran away to the north.
They were probably luchadors.
I see. So, it was the Sky Bandits, huh?
So, what you're saying then is that this house didn't incur a loss of any kind?
Yeah, thanks to the mercy of the goddess.
Can I ask you another thing? Did your husband coming home late mean that he went to the bar?
Huh, if it was only that, that would be forgivable. In addition to being a no-good drinker, he's obsessed with this.
Cecile raised her hand in a casting motion.
Hmm?
Oh, I get it. You mean fishing, right?
He's obsessed with fishing.
I see now.
That's right. He loves fishing more than life itself. Just yesterday he said something about catching some smelt and took off to the lake in the south.
You know how much the Trail series loves its fishing.
And on top of that, he still hasn't come back.
So what you're saying is he doesn't know anything about the incident?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And when that good-for-nothing husband of mine gets home, he's gonna get what for, let me tell you.
No, he's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, what a day I had.
Here we go.
I was fishing patiently all morning, but I had nothing to show for it. Oh, what's this? Do we have guests?
You senile old man.
My goodness, woman. What kind of fiery tempest has gotten into you?
He's gonna let him have it.
Don't you know it's rude to act like that in front of guests?
If anyone's being rude, that would be you. I'm dumbfounded that my own husband can just take off and do what he likes at a time like this.
Huh? What do you mean by a time like this?
Maybe I should explain.
Joshua gave Mr. Kuwano a brief explanation regarding the burglaries which transpired the previous night.
Burglaries by sky bandits. You don't say. Now that is terrible. But to think that they hightailed it out of here after my wife hollered at them is hilarious.
It's the Murph of Dale.
Guess they got to experience the Cecile effect firsthand.
What did you just say?
Oh.
Let's all calm down now, shall we?
But to think that these sky bandits came in the night like they did, and then just disappeared like that. I wonder if it has anything to do with that thing he was talking about the other day.
That thing?
What do you mean?
Oh, right. You don't know him. He's my fishing buddy. He's staying at the inn down the lake shore to the south of here.
We haven't been there yet.
If I remember right, he said something about seeing a strange bunch near the place the other night.
That may be worth investigating.
A strange bunch?
Now this sounds really interesting. Can you tell us a little more about what you've heard?
Sure, I don't mind. But I'm just going to tell you up front that this is all hearsay. From what I heard, he just happened to see them by chance as he was out fishing during the night. He saw them leave by the way of the inn's front door and then out onto the road. However, when he asked around at the inn in the morning, it turned out that no one like that had stayed there the night before.
Oh, I think we know what our next destination's gonna be.
Yeah, that is rather odd. So, was there any type of burglary at the inn?
No, nothing of the sort at all, in fact. It's quiet there, the meals are great, and it's, well, a place I'd recommend to anyone. But best of all, it's a prime fishing spot.
Oh, yeah?
Though there aren't any definitive clues related to the incident, we did manage to hear a few interesting bits.
I concur. I especially like the one that described all the delicious food at the inn.
That's not what we're talking about here. Although, I did find the fishing part to be rather interesting. Unfortunately, if there's nothing going on there, then I guess it wouldn't be worth investigating.
Actually, I think it's quite the opposite. If someone had been careless and caused a problem, the army would have thoroughly investigated it. Conversely, the possibility of the Sky Bandits appearing where there's nothing happening is rather high.
Oh, well, I guess that's one way to think about it.
And in light of this series of incidents, there's either a spy in the army, or the Sky Bandits are a really clever bunch of thieves.
Or possibly both.
It'll be extremely difficult to corner them only by investigating the incidents which have occurred. We'll need to get one step ahead of them by tracking their movements.
I see. So what you're saying is that we should take an offensive stance rather than a defensive one.
There you go.
Then how about we get going? Off to the beautiful Valeria Lake, extolled in many a rhyme as the Pearl of the Burl.
Of course, before we do that, there's plenty of stuff to do. I think there's new stuff and some new stuff we can buy. Also, I kind of want to set up Olivier's ordnance a certain way, since he's the primary mage of our party. So let's see. So he's got EP1. We're gonna go and get some more quartz real quick, because I like having him set up a certain way. So we want to get an EP cut 1, which Art's EP cost down by 10%. Also, giving him blind is an excellent idea. I think somebody already has blind, don't they? You have petrify. Yeah, you have blind. Okay. So we'll just get another blind. Since we got so much time quartz, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Alright. Blind. Which will give you Shadow Spear and Anticept, which is always nice. EP Cut, which also gives you Hell's Gate, which is also really nice. Ba 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 bum. Which is fine. So we've got Hellgate, stagnates enemies' vital activities, 20% chance of faint to an area, so it's basically like Soul Blur to an area, which is very nice. And the slot is sealed. We can't open it just yet, but that's alright. It's alright, man. Okay. So now we want to do our rounds again, because I believe there's new dialogue from everybody. My account ledgers were confiscated by the army. This is bad. Really bad. Now hold on. Maybe I'm not in as much trouble as I previously thought. Thankfully those Sky Bandits took off with the one that could have gotten me in the most trouble. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Also, I think yeah, apple ice cream is an even better money trick than the vegetable, but we'll get to that. Which you can also do in at the market, so we'll be doing that. It makes an even bigger profit than the vegetable sandwich. My boss seems to be more on edge than I've ever seen him before. I wonder if it's the shock from being burglarized like that. Probably. So the thing is about that money tree, I think you need at least like 8,500 Mira before you can actually do it by getting all the ingredients, but yeah. Yeah. I'm only interested in pursuing my own creative interests. So, as long as there's an environment for me to do that, I couldn't care less about anything else. That's a shame. I had a very important ring taken by them. I don't care if it's the Army or the Bracer Guild, I just want to see those burglars caught. These sky bandits are on the loose. I don't think I can live without being in fear every day. Yeah, so that's technically a side quest, but you pretty much do it by advancing the plot. So, that's kind of a thing. Wonder if my dad will come home soon. My mom looks really upset about something. No! What are you doing, man? Leave me alone. Get out of here, you're bothering me. What am I doing? That is not how we play this game, sir. Murano had an errand and went on to the mayor's residence. The mayor and Murano have actually been good friends for as long as anyone can remember. I know my husband is always out and about, but not having him around makes me feel a little insecure. Please, come home safely. I'm sure he's fine. The Kingfisher Inn can be reached by heading south from town and following the new Ansel path. That's where we need to go. The structure's been built right on the lake shore, so you'll know it as soon as you see it. Fun. No matter how many times I yell at my husband about his addiction, he still takes off to go fishing again. I'm just about ready to give up. There's something that really gets my goat about seeing him come walking through the door with such a carefree look on his face. Oh boy. That sounds like a problem drinker. I wonder if the army found the crooks who did this to my shop. I hope they catch these crooks no matter what they have to do to them. As it stands, I am seething with anger over what happened. That's too bad. There's nothing new at this shop. But I believe there is some new stuff we can get over at the market. So that's something we want to do. But still, I feel like I'm going insane without Trino being here in Bose. We've been fighting since we were kids, so it's weird not having him around. And though he's a business rival, we seem to have this strange sense of solidarity. I'm actually pretty proud of the fact that the two of us built up trade like we have in Bose. Huh, although I'm sure if he heard this, he'd laugh off the notion. Probably. I really hope this city will settle down soon. The stock market's cooling down, and at this rate, I'm going to show a big deficit this month on my financial report. And just when I had beaten out the Trinos last month, too. Well, that's a thing. I wonder what I should tell my parents about wanting to enter the Royal Academy. Unfortunately, right now, it doesn't seem to be a good time. It's probably never going to be a good time, sir. Not even a little bit.